What's good, y'all? This is our first podcast episode, y'all. So this group right here, this all started as a group chat. It's crazy because we just started talking about sports and we realized like we're all different in different ways and we just love talking about sports, man. So we're just gonna get right into it. We're gonna start with the NBA draft. Um, First thing I wanted to bring up is we all know who's going one, but who's going two. Scoot's odds a couple of days ago they were plus 160. They're minus 145 now. So I'm gonna just throw it around. What you think?
So when it comes to Scoot Henderson, this is what I've been waiting for.
Mm.
Don't the Blazers have 2 picks, right?
Yes.
They have a second pick, and I think the other one's a 10th pick.
Yes.
Yep.
I seen a report the other day that they're not willing to deal a second pick. So this comes to my question.
Well, they got the third pick though. Blazers got the third.
Yeah,
pick.
Sorry, third pick. Sorry. Anyway, I seen a report saying they're not willing to deal the third pick.
Right.
So the odds obviously drop. So what is Trailblazers doing? Are they trading Damian Lillard?
Yeah.
Or are they getting Henderson? Because Charlotte's not getting Henderson. It wouldn't fit their system.
But what does the books say though? The books are saying that Charlotte's basically gonna take them, and that leaves Portland in the spot where it's like what I've been seeing on Twitter is basically the Blazers are in this mode where it's like we're gonna make it look like we can trade whatever because that's what Dame wants. He wants them to trade the pick. He wants to stay with the Trailblazers. That's obvious. So I think it's gonna come down to basically. I think they're gonna end up taking Brandon Miller for real. Scoot's gonna go two, and that's my biggest question is what is that gonna look like? Because we've seen De'Aaron Fox before with Tyrese Halliburton stuff like that. Will LaMelo work with Scoot though? Like that's.
I think, personal opinion, if obviously Victor's going number 1, but if Victor was not in this draft, it's a clear contention that Scoot would be the first overall pick. He has every tool that you want for a point guard in the NBA. So my thoughts are, I personally wouldn't hate LaMelo and Henderson together. I mean, Henderson has a vertical. He can be another playmaker, just like a Terry Rozier with LaMelo.
Right.
So, I don't know. I think he could go second, but that does leave the question, what do the Trailblazers do? And this is what I wanted to also get into. Would it be in the best interest for the Trailblazers to move on from Damian Lillard, or do they try to contend next year?
My question is, what can you get out of that third pick, though? Like, what is that third pick going to get you? Is that going to bring something to Portland that is going to make you a contender right now? Because that's what Damian wants. He wants to win. Like, he doesn't want to... Like, it's not like a... I don't know. He needs another star. And, like, does a third pick get you another star? Does that make you compete with, who's ever? Like, whatever it is.
That's a good question. But I really personally believe, and you guys can definitely debate this, I think the Trailblazers should move on from Damian Lillard. And that's just my personal opinion.
Agreed.
They have in-free assignments. Shannon Sharp. Those are already 2 guards that you could rebuild around. You take Brandon Miller with the 3, you let them play. You've seen what Shannon Sharp did when he had playing time last year. He started dropping consistent 20 and has obviously shown flashes of dunking ability. I think, this is another question, if the Trailblazers were to move on from Damian Lillard, where does he go?
Yeah. And just to add on to that point is like I'm a big supporter in like I don't want to play the middle ground. Like if you're Portland, does that give you a chance to win the title? Whoever it is, Karl Anthony Towns, he's probably out the question. Minnesota said they want to keep their core. So it's like, where are you really going to go with that? So like you said, I'm trading Dame. And where is he going to go? He don't want to go to Boston. He done said that. That was disrespectful, but he done said it. It's tough. It's a tough market, but I do. I'm going to go ahead and bring it up. Bill Simmons, shout out to Bill Simmons. He had a trade that I want to bring up. It's Brooklyn gives up Ben Simmons, all 4 Phoenix firsts that they have. They have 4 first-round picks from Phoenix, a Dallas first, Cam Thomas, and Portland gets Dame. And they get Dame.
That's too much. That's too much for Dame.
So 5 first-round picks, Ben Simmons' contract for Damian Lillard.
That's just too much. Dame's one of the best players in the league, but he's not worth all that, especially with his age, in my opinion.
So Brooklyn says no.
How old is Dame?
He's 30-something.
Yeah, I was about to say.
I'm curious what your thoughts are. Where do you think would be a good fit for Damian Lillard?
Everywhere.
He could fit in every.
He could go anywhere.
Plug and play anywhere.
Right.
And I've thought about this. My 2 personal opinions where I think Damian Lillard would fit best. Controversial to you. Jaylen Brown for Damian Lillard straight up. Who says no?
Damian Lillard says no. He already said he ain't going to Boston.
But he don't have a no trade clause though.
He
Like
don't.
Tyler
No,
said.
Bradley
it's
Beal is
true.
the only one that has
But-
one.
I don't know. I feel like Dame and Portland, they're so close. They're not going to do that to him. Like if he said he doesn't want to go to Boston, they're not sending him to Boston.
I agree.
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a business league, though, bro. We've
Like
seen
Chris
so
Paul.
many times.
You've seen it.
So
Chris
many
Paul
times.
said he woke up sick as fuck.
He did say that. He did say that. But if I'm Boston, I mean, I'm pulling the trigger. I mean, it's a big thing I've been thinking about lately is I'm pretty salty about the whole playoffs and all that. But the biggest thing in the NBA right now is do you have a chance to win the title? It's all about a chance because the league is so packed that, like, all you want is a chance. Like, Milwaukee got knocked out, but they still had a chance.
Mm-hmm.
Miami had a chance. So I think that just ups your chance a little bit. So if I'm Boston, I'm pulling the trigger on that.
Yeah,
So you're taking Dame
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you-
I'm
if-
taking it.
for Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, I'll do it.
Wow.
So, speaking of chance, just some stat I saw today. It was under David Stern, there was, in 30 seasons, there was 8 different NBA champions. And under, who's the new commissioner?
Adam Silver.
Adam Silver. There, in like, I think 10 years he's been in the commissioner,
Mhm.
there's been 7 different NBA champs.
Yeah.
So it just kind of puts in perspective that it's been a different team almost every single year besides like the Warriors dynasty.
Right.
So all these teams feel like they have a chance.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty
And that's my
exciting to
biggest
see.
thing with why I think Portland Trailblazers should move on from Damian Lillard is, yeah, they have Damian Lillard, but they have not, for as long as he's been in Portland, they have not put a team around him to be competable for the finals. They even with the picks they have now, I don't think they can make enough move. I seen a report for Siakam. How much, if you get Siakam, how much does he make you better? He doesn't make you a finals contender, in my opinion.
No.
And I think you have the young core, Shannon Sharp. You have Anfernee Simons, 2 guards. You get Brandon Miller. There's your trio for the next 5 years. I'm just saying. Those are my thoughts on that.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely got it and do the best I can with it. Yeah, I think I don't think they will move the pick, but like we're all saying, I think they should move
It'd be
the
their
pick.
best option if they were to.
I mean, move Dame. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, Dame.
I think my favorite 2 teams I would like to see Dame play for would be the Celtics. I think he would fit
Yeah.
really good alongside Tatum, both being able to score the ball. And I also could see the Miami Heat running in there as well.
I mean, sleeper pick. James Harden leaves Philly. They need a point guard. Do they have the package to get Dame? Probably not. I mean, you'd have to throw Tyrese Maxey.
You got to
in
give
there
up Maxey
probably.
if you want Dame.
And they probably don't want to do
Mhm.
that. But Joel Embiid, Dame, pick and roll. I mean, that'd go nuts.
it looked
That
a lot
is
better
true.
than the Harden pick and roll.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
What are your guys' thoughts on the Spurs? Because we obviously know who they're going to draft.
They're not even picking up phone calls for Victor. And I've heard like reports of like what people are offering for Victor, like literally like top 10 players in the league are like being like opposed to them, but they're not even picking up the phone for Victor, like untouchable before he's even played a game.
Well, one thing, and I was talking to Kyler about this a couple weeks ago when it was announced that the Spurs got the pick, that he went to the best situation possible strictly for the development reasons. Because I know there's a lot of people that question how skinny he is and all this stuff and how he will translate to the NBA.
Mhm.
Well, the thing is you have to realize that he's going to be going to like the greatest coach ever, first of all. And you have Tim Duncan and David Robinson. What a lot of people don't know is that he was actually mentored by Manu Ginobili and Boris Diaw in France. So, I mean, those are 2 Spurs grades. So when you have something like that in your corner, I mean, that's just going to elevate you to the next level.
And I agree. I
For
think
sure.
with the Spurs, they've been one of the best teams, at least at developing players. You've seen DeJounte Murray, you got
Kawhi.
Kawhi, got what's his name?
I mean, they've had 3 number 1
Tony
picks
Parker.
in
Tony
their
Parker,
in their
Ginobili.
entire franchise history. They've had 3 number 1 picks, and they've been the Admiral, Tim Duncan, and now Victor Wembanyama, however you say it. Like, I mean,
So are the Spurs relevant then?
I think
Back?
stars,
they're not-
stars are attracted to Spurs. I mean, to the Spurs now, I believe. I mean, you have, in my opinion, the best generational prospect since LeBron James back in 2001. And that's saying a lot to put a ceiling on a player. No,
Yeah.
when a player comes into the league with the ceiling of being one of the greatest players of all time, we've never seen a. You can argue Kevin Durant obviously kind of has like the skill set, but 7'4" moving like point guard.
It's crazy.
That's. I mean, you've seen the highlights. You can put him up right now.
Yeah.
Zion was pretty hyped too, but
He was.
And
He was very.
I mean,
hyped.
he's panned out if he could. Stay
has
on
not
the
panned out.
court.
He's
If he
great.
could stay on the court, every time he's been on the court, he's averaging 27, 7, and 7. He's playing amazing. He just can't keep himself on the
He's
court.
played like a fourth of the game since he's been in the league.
He's
But-
playing a different type of game right now.
You see what he's into right now?
Yeah.
he's playing the real game.
He's into them.
But
We're not gonna
no,
get into
to
that.
piggyback off what Deal is talking about, the Spurs have 75 mil in cap, just flat. So, like you were saying, if I'm the Spurs right now, I'm giving the max that you can give, so 100 mil to Austin Reeves. See if the Lakers match it. And then with the rest of that cap, you just fill it in. And I think with Wembanyama, they stay around 500, no matter what. Like, I think they're contending around that 500 spot. That's just a
They
prediction.
need a point guard bad. I think that we could see them go for a guy like Tyus Jones.
And then match him up with his little brother, Trey Jones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the best Spurs, because I personally don't like the free agency class that's coming this year, but the following year there's pretty good free agency. If I'm the Spurs, I let them develop for one more year with Victor, let him get used to the league, bulk up. When we've seen with Giannis being skinny and bulking up, I think Victor has the potential to be the unicorn pick that people are talking about.
Yeah.
And you pair him with another star, which he's already have attraction to. Like Damian Lillard was praying for the number one pick before the lottery went down anyway. So with 75 mil in cap space, or whatever the number is,
Mhm.
I think you can see a lot of stars attracted to the Spurs moving forward.
But you got to use that money. So, like I already said, would y'all pay Austin Reeves? I mean,
100 mil?
They are
Over how
not.
many years? 4 years?
5. So it'd be 20 mil a year.
I'd do it.
But so
He gets to the foul line.
He can play make.
We seen what he did. He was the third
In the
best.
playoff, he took
He's the
off.
third best player on the conference finals team. So what more would you want than to put it somebody who plays well in the playoffs with Wembanyama? So say you end up in the playoffs, you got him on a 5-year deal, 3 years down the line, a little more experience. You got a good playoff player, 20 mil. Look around the league. I mean, you got Mikal Bridges for 25. Is he?
That's a steal.
Yeah,
That's
it's
a steal for 25.
see,
True.
the thing is, I love Austin Reeves as much as the next guy, but I just don't know if we've seen enough to throw 5 years, 20 mil a year on a guy.
What
Yeah,
I
and that's the
argue,
thing.
though, is the cap space is going to keep going up over the next couple of years with how much money the NBA is bringing in.
Mhm.
20 mil for Austin Reeves. I mean, you know what you're getting. You're getting a playmaker. He improved his three-point shot a lot in this offseason. I think his jump from last year to this year definitely made him worth the money he is now. And I think, I don't know. I like the way he fits with the Lakers. I don't know. Just got to see how he would fit with the Spurs. That's just the only question I have. He fit the Lakers' role very well because he basically was the Lakers' point guard.
With the ball in his hands, he would be better.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with that.
Yeah, so I think you just spend that. You got to spend it. And somebody's going to pay Austin Reeves. And if I'm the Spurs, I'm taking the shot. What's the worst he's going to be? I think the worst he's going to be is a probably 18, 20 point per game scorer. Gets to the line. Shoots a good percentage from 3. So I think that's what the Spurs should do. And we know who's going first. Unless y'all got anything else about the actual picks, I do got one long shot that I was doing a little research and diving into some YouTube. And so first I'm going to bring this one trade. So the Celtics, they get Tim Hardaway and the number 10 pick, and Dallas gets Marcus Smart. So we get that number 10 pick, and there's a guy. I want y'all to look him up on YouTube if you're watching
I
this.
know who you're talking about.
Bilal Koulibaly.
Uh-huh.
Are you serious?
You're talking about the guy from France?
Yes, bro.
The point guard?
He
The
plays-
point guard? It's like 7'2" wingspan.
He's in the
7'3" wingsman.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. I seen actually something about it today as you're talking about it.
He-
I literally just heard about him
He
today.
plays on Victor's
Yep.
the Metropolitan.
They had him as like a late second round pick, and apparently he's projected a top 14 pick lottery pick now
yeah.
after the
Well,
last couple of days.
actually, his over under right now is 11.5 is what it's set up for his draft pick. So I mean, and also that's somewhere that I could see the Cavs potentially trading up because they need a small forward. That's someone that Washington, could trade back for potentially. Because what pick did they have?
Washington.
Yeah,
I think they have the.
I think Washington
I
is.
can't remember.
Oh, they have the 8th pick. So
Yeah,
I mean, that's
8th pick.
someone that they.
Right there would be perfect to go for him. I would even move back.
Yeah, and I mean, you're seeing in the league right now on how many players overseas are just elevating the game, and I mean, the top 3 players in the league right now are all from overseas. So it's not something I'd be against if I'm a GM of a team.
Yeah, I'm taking him over Grady Dick. I would.
I like him now.
Yeah, but and he's a good guy because he's a 5-star coming out of high school, and the NBA loves them type of dudes. Yeah.
Out
So
of here.
just to dive into that trade a little bit, the Celtics get Tim Hardaway and the number 10, and we give away our heart and soul, Marcus Smart.
That's a tough
Heart and
loss
soul.
from Celtics, so I don't know. I like Marcus Smart.
I do too.
I just think from watching almost all the Celtics games, we have to split the White, Brogdon, Smart. Somebody's got to go, to
Mhm.
me. And Pritchard can fill in a little bit of the minutes here and there in the regular season, not in the playoffs. but-
Pritchard wasn't happy about the playoffs.
No, he wasn't because he wasn't playing.
Mm-mm.
I just think we got to move somebody. So as far as one more trade I'm going to bring up is Malcolm Brogdon. So if we're not moving Smart, this is going to sound crazy, but Malcolm Brogdon for Chris Paul.
It's not crazy at all. I think I like that.
Yeah, but then you got the same problem that you just said.
Yeah.
You got Chris Paul, you got Derek White, and you got
Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart. Now you got
Marcus Smart could play it too. I think he could be a good shooting guard.
Yeah, it's tough because I think that the one thing we're missing is a little bit more maturity.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
Chris Paul and Al Horford, I think that's a good little camaraderie there, and I think that Chris Paul's my favorite player ever. I don't know if I ever told y'all that. He's my favorite player ever. I just like his game. So I'm a little biased, but I think Brogdon's contract is going to screw us down the line. And Chris Paul, we're going to get off of him in 2 years. But that was just a little trade that Bill Simmons brought up, and I was like, he's a Celtics fan as well, so I was like, that's crazy. But
Yeah, I mean, that Chris Paul and Al Horford deal would be like 0-14 in the conference finals. I mean, that'd be something crazy to see.
it is true, bro. Well, I'm trying to get my boy Chris Paul a ring, bro. But
That's why.
Where's
That's
Chris
why.
Paul favored to land?
the Clippers or the Lakers.
Mm-hmm.
Memphis
But they
got-
want him in like vet minimum deals because
Yeah.
his contract's too big.
Well,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, and he,
But
in all honesty, has 1 or 2 years left, probably.
Yeah, and the Wizards said they want to keep him and keep him till the trade deadline, maybe, and use him as an asset. So it's going to be a trade unless they end up buying him out before the trade deadline, so they don't win more games than they want.
Probably
to.
don't ship him before the draft.
That's
So,
what I was thinking.
Yeah. But no, I think it's tough because Memphis got shut down. But like he said, now the odds have switched, and Lakers and Clips.
So what's your guys' opinions on the Lakers? They only have 3 people on contract returning next year.
Now we're into some good
Now we're into
conversation.
conversation. They have LeBron, AD, only contracts, and they have a player option for Vanderbilt, which they'll probably bring back. But
Yeah.
who do they bring?
I heard they want to keep basically everything they got.
I say-
D'Lo's got to go.
D'Lo's
D'Lo's
gone.
out.
He did not prove himself in the playoffs. He needs to go to the Raptors, go to a rebuild. He's not it.
But that's why Chris Paul is brought up.
But the biggest thing for the Lakers is a point guard. I think you bring back Reeves. I think you bring back Hachimura. Both took an extra step in the playoffs, I believe. But you need that playmaker, pure playmaker shooter that the Lakers are really.
Vanderbilt needs to come back for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I'd bring Hachimura back over Reeves,
Hachimura.
in my opinion.
Over Reeves.
Yeah.
That's
Because Reeves
Because
is
you
too
think
much.
about it.
Reeves
You
is
think
too
about it.
much.
LeBron, how many more years do you have with LeBron?
he has one more year.
One
on
more
contract,
year under
and then he's
contract,
probably gone.
and then going to probably play with the Suns.
Mm-hmm.
Hachimura would fill right into that role.
I like
Small
Hachimura.
forward.
He took a step. I think he had a couple great games in the playoffs. Lengthy.
They got him.
They got him for a
bag of
steal.
chips.
A bag of
Didn't
chips.
they get him for a
I
bag
I
of
felt like
crazy,
every
dude.
time I watch Rui, I was like, why is this guy not playing more? I feel like every time he exceeded my expectations.
Yeah, he's a
agree.
good fit, but I do want to. The one thing I would back that up a little bit on is I think somebody out there. It's gonna sound crazy, but the cap is crazy right now. I think somebody's going to offer Rui around the same money Reeves will get. I really do. I think somebody's going to be desperate. They saw what they seen in the playoffs. If I'm the Lakers, I'm going to try to match that Austin Reeves contract before I match that Rui one.
I mean, that's someone like I feel like Rui is someone that can give you the production that Aaron Gordon got you in the finals, in my opinion.
I like Hachimura because, and this is my personal take, the biggest need in the NBA right now are lengthy wings that can score the ball. I mean, you look around the teams, OG Anunoby, good wing, not like superstar wing, but he was like before the trade deadline was going for like four first round picks.
Mm-hmm.
So I think a wing is super huge in the NBA right now. So getting Hachimura, what they did for the Lakers, I think you bring him back. I would hate to see Reeves not in a Lakers uniform though.
I think he loves being in the Lakers uniform.
I do too. I seen Malik Beasley, Mo Bamba, and it was for, I think it was Chris Paul. Would you guys accept that?
Yeah.
I think Chris Paul
Straight
would
up,
be a
I don't
very
think
good
there's
sixth
any
man.
picks.
And I
I
think
think
that-
it was just like
yeah.
a tweet.
And I think they're both expiring. So if you're Washington, you get them dudes are gone in a year or two. And no, I like it for both sides. And I also think they're going to make a push for Dre. I don't know what's going to happen, but
Mhm.
they're going to make that push. Have we seen? I mean, I'm not the one to
But
usually speculate on this, but like him and Dre were in France together,
I did see that.
so it's kind of crazy. But
They were together when he announced that he's not accepting.
I don't know how I feel about Dre. I know you can make the argument, very good IQ, but in playmaking ability, defense. But when it comes to the Lakers, they need offense, and Draymond is not offensive minded. Let's just say that right now.
Yeah.
I think you'd be a great plug and play when LeBron or AD is not in the court. Don't get me wrong.
right,
But how much money does Draymond want? He denied 27.5 for a player option. You know, I'm not giving that to Dre at his current age right now.
And the Lakers' biggest problem is they can't keep their players on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Bron's been injured like the past couple seasons. AD can't stay on the court.
Mm-hmm.
You bring in Draymond, who's been suspended the most games these past 5-10 years, hasn't been able to stay on the court in big games in the playoffs. He's
also
getting
older.
suspended, and he's getting older.
Yeah, he's old.
It's like you're bringing in another person that's kind of unreliable in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
and that's all they've dealt with the entire time that Bron's been there.
but the one thing I don't want y'all to sleep on is that LeBron, when he wants something, he usually gets it.
He does.
Yeah.
He
He's
wanted. He
the
wanted.
GM.
People forget. Like this ain't hate nothing. He wanted Westbrook, got him.
Yeah.
Did it work out? No. And I think it's the same situation where you're going to see Dre wants the ball, facilitate, and LeBron wants the ball, facilitate, especially in his older age.
That's what I agree with.
So
that.
there's a problem there, but will they do it? It's up in there.
Bro, Draymond will suck up to him and be like, "Here you go,
If
Daddy."
Right.
Draymond takes like a $10 million contract, sure, bring him in. He can be the sixth man when AD's not.
I'm not paying him with the Warriors.
I'm not
saying.
paying him that either.
But the one thing I did see was Draymond had Steve Kerr on this podcast, and I don't know. That just made me think he was coming back. I think the Warriors are gonna.
Bob Myers is gone though.
Yeah, it's
He's still
true.
in talks with the
GM.
Warriors, though.
Yeah.
Like, it's not
Yeah.
Like my cousin had posted something on Facebook today. Like, why would they do this? Why would they do that? I mean, why would Dre do this? Like, take that money. Well, he's gonna get his money, I think, from the Warriors. But at the end, when it's all said and done,
Yeah, I just don't want to see the Lakers do what they did a couple years ago when they have all these players on vet minimums like Melo and all those guys, and it's just a bag of old dudes.
Yeah.
And
Don't do
no one can stay on the court because they're all old.
Yep.
And I feel like when you have Chris Paul and Draymond floating around in free agency, and those LeBron's guys, everyone's so quick to be like, "Yeah, bring them in."
I just
But
don't know how that
we-
would fit.
But we've already saw.
But the Lakers got younger at the deadline, and they
They did.
obviously got better.
They do.
So I mean, it's
But they got to
LeBron.
bring most of those people back.
But is
That's the
LeBron
thing.
going to revert and be like, "Let's go old again"? And
I think the
not
Lakers
even
were that
miss the
close.
playoffs? Like,
I think the Lakers were that close to actually making a finals run this year. They desperately needed D'Lo to step up, and I think he really hurt them.
if
in the
D'Lo
playoffs.
gave him like 20 a night, it would have been
different
Yeah.
story.
like if he was
Yeah.
a problem.
Mhm.
like if you got that 10 from Mike Conley, though. No,
Mhm.
I'm just playing.
No,
bro.
I'm saying I would have honestly took Mike Conley over D'Lo.
Yeah.
The Lakers' run to the conference finals, fraudulent.
No,
Fraudulent this year.
no.
Hear me out, right?
No, I don't think so.
The Lakers' run to the conference finals this year, they played a Memphis Grizzlies team who overachieved, and Ja was injured. If Ja isn't injured, that's your
I don't agree. They were a number 2 seed.
yeah, but they overachieved.
But you can say the same thing about the Lakers. They very
No,
underachieved in the regular season.
See, I don't think
horrible.
then that you get past an injured like Memphis team. Which, granted, did anyone think Memphis was great going into that series?
No.
No one had Memphis winning that series. Then you go to the next round. You're playing a Warriors team that is terrible on the road, like absolutely horrible on the road this year. Shouldn't have they beat a Kings team. Kings team was pretty good, but like they play a Warriors team that's terrible on the road. All you got to do is steal one game. Now, granted, they did win Game 6, like there, or was it? How many games did that go?
I think they won game 1 on the road.
Yeah, they stole a game on the road, and then the Warriors weren't going to win in LA. They haven't been able to win on the road all year. The one series they played a real team in the Nuggets killed them. They beat them 4-0.
Nuggets were a great team in the West.
Like, I don't know.
Absolutely.
I just don't think they
Rain.
played a team that was good enough for me to say that this Lakers team could win
I
a
genuinely
championship.
think the Nuggets had probably one of the best teams I've seen in a while.
Yeah, this is the best
you
team
had
I've ever
Jamal
seen.
Murray, Michael Porter Jr.
Bruce
You
Brown.
had so many plug-and-play players. Caldwell
was so
Pope,
deep,
veteran.
man.
Bruce Brown fit really good with the Nuggets.
So
Aaron
deep.
Gordon for a power forward
So deep.
fit really good with the Nuggets as well. And then you have probably going to be a top 5 center of all time, dishing the ball around.
No,
I don't know. The Nuggets team was very good.
The Nuggets could repeat, but they won't be able to bring Bruce Brown back. They don't.
No.
He's going to get money this offseason.
For sure. But they got this type of way that they go about things where it's like they'll just plug the next guy in. and
It's
gonna
true.
work.
It's true. Christian Brown right there.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
drafted
exactly.
they draft winners.
Like,
Think
who-
about it. They drafted Jamal Murray,
Winner.
won a national championship at Villanova.
Yep.
They drafted Christian Brown, won a national championship at Virginia, or where did he play at?
Who?
Christian Brown.
I think you got it mixed up.
Kansas.
He won with Villanova. Jamal Murray won with Kentucky.
The Christian
Oh, okay,
Christian
yeah.
Brown
Christian
went
Brown
to
went to Kansas.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, he went to
Jamal went
Kansas.
to
And,
Kentucky.
yeah, but like they draft winners. They
Yeah.
built a winning culture. That's how you should do it in the NBA.
Mhm.
Like they did it the perfect way. They drafted. Now, granted, there's some luck in it. They drafted a
Yeah, Jokic
generational
in the
player
second round.
during a Taco Bell commercial.
Yeah.
Right.
But like, I don't know. Like they did it
Yeah.
the way that every team. Like, if I was a fan of that team, I'd be so happy because like they were in
And
homegrown and everything.
The
You
one
guys
thing
seen
I
that parade though?
yeah,
That was crazy.
that was a good
That's
break.
wild.
The
Denver
one
showed
thing
up.
I will say about the Nuggets really quick is they're gonna be here for a while. They're young.
Yeah,
They're all
yeah.
signed. They're gonna be here for a while.
Yeah.
There's not stop.
Unless Jokic just retires. That's the only way they don't
Yeah.
come back.
And you know how he is. He wants to go to Serbia with his goats or horses.
Horses.
Yeah.
Wagner, we were watching the Nuggets, and somebody came off the bench, and we were like, "Wait, what?" You remember that? It was me and you. We were sitting there watching, and somebody came off the bench, and it was like a very popular name. He might be older.
DeAndre
Jeff
Jordan.
Green.
Oh, KCP,
No,
Jeff Green.
but like all these names are just so deep. But no, it was somebody, and we were like,
DeAndre Jordan.
Chris Brown. I know he had a
Hey,
couple
Smith?
of good games.
I don't know. I don't know who it was, but I wish I could think. of
Hold
it.
up. Reggie Jackson.
Reggie
Oh,
Jackson.
yeah, that's who it
I
was.
was sitting there
They're
like,
deep.
I was like,
there
I
was
swear
some
he's on the
times-
Clippers.
Hold
Yeah,
on.
there were some times in the playoffs they throw him in for a minute, but it's Reggie Jackson. He's gonna get that one shot up in
Right.
that minute. It was crazy.
I was sitting there thinking, like, how?
like
how?
that's your third string point guard.
Point
Are we-
guard, shooting
are we
guard?
I feel like we have a good next topic. I think we should go into the Suns and Beal's trade. Suns and Beal trade.
No, I agree. Yeah, let's touch on it real
I
quick.
think that one's
The worst trade
I think
in like
it's-
NBA
I think
history.
I think the Suns are idiots.
Yeah.
You're in win now. You have no draft capital. You have no cap space. You're signing the rest of your team on vet minimums.
You also got me and you on the bench because they have no money.
Oh, they'd be lucky. to
Same
get me
thing
on
as
the
last
bench.
year, bro. They had no bench. I
Yeah.
told you guys before they played the Clippers, and I think the Clippers would have won that series if Kawhi didn't or Paul George didn't get hurt.
I agree.
And I was like, bro, Suns have no bench, literally. And you saw it the next series. Like once one of those guys needed a breather, bro, you're relying on who's the guy who just got traded to the Wizards, Shamet.
Yep.
Mhm.
Landry Shamet.
Yeah,
Yep.
like that's who you're relying on.
And he had that one big game. It's not reliable. It's not.
I mean, you can get rid
And
of
that was the game they won.
Yep.
Because you get production from your bench, and that's just
Yeah.
not something that we're going to see next year.
And you can go back like the past 5 finals if you look at each one. So like you go this year, the Nuggets absolutely deep. They win the series. They win the chip. You go the year before, the Warriors. They got Gary Payton. They've got like they're just have a
Deep.
deep bench. There's not a team that's won that doesn't have like a deep bench.
You have to have guys that are on vet minimums that have championship experience that can shoot the ball and play some defense.
there's never been a top-heavy team that just wins because they're top-heavy. Even the Warriors teams
Not
through
in the
their
new
run.
era. Not in the new era, but yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah. Back
Yeah.
then, it's like
Right.
But like even like the Warriors teams with KD, Steph, and everybody.
Yeah, you still have
they're
Tom
still-
Livingston.
they're
you still
still
had
deep.
Iggy off the bench. Like
It's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, I think if this trade for me is like one thing is too many Chiefs, not enough Indians.
Mhm.
Yep.
Heard that one before.
Yeah, it's like that's
Like they're all gonna get a bucket. Don't get me wrong. You come out there with, like we've seen what Booker and KD did by themselves in the playoffs. They're gonna get buckets. You have Beal. I think he's a good fit, but now you have you have to win. Like, if
82
you don't
games
win
is
this
a
year or
lot.
next year, you're.
You have 2 shooting guards and a small forward.
Mm-hmm.
100
Well,
points
you
between
put him
the
at
three
power
of them
forward, I
versus that.
guess,
It
but
don't
still.
Yeah, honestly.
I mean, you have 8 and 2, but what did he do? You don't want to be there.
But who's playing defense?
Nobody.
Isn't Ayton in free agency right now?
No,
No.
they signed him last year. They matched the Pacers, but
Yeah,
they
he's
need
got-
to unload him.
he's got a max contract.
They need to unload him fast. Like if
Yeah,
you want
'cause
anything.
I'd rather have 2 vet minimums than DeAndre, and that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah.
I'm serious. JaVale McGee, and I don't even care who else.
No,
You
yeah.
had about 8 minutes of battery left over here.
All right, bet. So I got like 2 more spicy trades I'm gonna throw out there real quick. Houston gets Zion, the number 27 pick. Charlotte gets the number 4 pick, Jalen Green and Kira Lewis. New Orleans gets the number 2 pick, Terry Rozier. Brooklyn's 24-year pick and the 26-year pick.
Not gonna lie, I've never heard more of a hell no before now.
Zion goes to a Houston club. We're never seeing him play another basketball game in our life ever again.
Okay, so who says no though?
Zion.
I think the Rockets say no.
Yeah.
You have a young stud in Jalen
Yeah.
Green, point guard. I mean,
Hold on.
obviously he's
Stud though?
okay. You can argue stud, but
Jalen
before he was drafted, he was like his athletic ability is very good for a point guard.
Right.
And I know he's been inconsistent, but with the new coach coming into the Rockets, which used to be the Celtics coach, which was a pretty solid coach,
Yeah.
I think you're going to see a winning culture come to Houston. Now, I like James Harden with the Rockets because they need a veteran in there. It's all a bunch of young people. You pair James Harden, Jalen Green, you got Jabari Smith, who I'm really high on Jabari Smith.
You got a good coach. now,
Yeah,
too.
you got a good coach. I think the Rockets are going to be a name in the next couple of years, but I would not risk for Zion. The only team I would say I would like Zion going to, because I think he needs out of his current situation. Pelicans management's done with him. He's gotten a lot of off-court troubles recently. I think he would fit well in Charlotte.
I think it'd be good. in New
I mean,
York.
you've seen what he did with Miles Bridges and LaMelo. Imagine adding
But
Zion. just
Charlotte's
like that.
culture is just not like
Hey.
look at all the problems they've had in the past couple years with their players doing off the court stuff. Zion's already got all that off the court stuff. He's bringing that baggage with him, and Charlotte needs some like vets to get in there and like start. Hey, we're focused on the league.
I think you need to pair him LaMelo with someone. You don't have another All-Star. I mean, but that's also why I like to argue. Do you give up the second pick for Zion Williamson?
No.
I don't. I take Scoot. I think LaMelo and Scoot would be a crazy guard combo. Then you work on the rest of your team from there. And you get Scoot for the next, 4 years at a rookie contract.
Yeah.
I'm taking that.
All right, yeah. Well, let's wrap it up. And the last thing I want to wrap it up with is we don't got to argue about it. We're just going to throw out one thing, like James was talking about, bold prediction for next NBA season. We can start with Deal.
What?
All right, unless you're not ready. I'm ready.
No, go ahead.
All right.
Take it away.
We'll go around. Kyler's next.
Oh,
All right,
he?
finish
Hold
it.
on. Hold on. Let's think about this for real quick. 'Cause I don't.
I know mine.
All right.
We
let
can
me
just
go next.
you
let me
go. I'll go.
I think the Bucks win it all.
You think Bucks win it all next year?
I'm going to just throw that out there. We don't got to argue about it.
Okay.
We'll argue about
Can we
it
have a little
later.
explanation though? I'm kind of curious
Okay,
how you
yeah.
say that.
I just think we see just a fueled up Giannis. Chris Middleton wants his bag.
Mm-hmm.
He does, and he's on the contract. He's trying to get that extension. They're bringing back basically everybody except Brooke. We're going to see what happens with that. But like I said before, all you want is a chance, and I think they're going to do it. That's just me. But
This is gonna be a real hot take, but I'm telling you, the Cavs get a wing. We're making a run in the playoffs, and I can have an explanation for this. Garland, there's not a lot of point guards that have Garland's back. I mean, you can say, but starting point guards, I think he took a big step, and that's why they got rid of Sexton and kept him. He's a playmaking. He has the shot ability. If he got the ball more to take it to shoot like Curry, Donovan Mitchell. is Donovan Mitchell. I mean, that's another argument you can say. Does he resign his contract? We're not going to get into that. Evan Mobley, I think he has one of the biggest potentials to be one of the best power forwards in the game. Now, what do you do, though? If we get rid of Jared Allen, you sign a wing, I think the Cavs have potential to really make a serious run next year and not get fucking swept by the Knicks. That's my hot take.
Take it away, champion.
All right. Victor Wembanyama is not going to win Rookie of the Year
Wow.
because there is a 7'3" tall, lengthy guy playing in OKC that got drafted 2nd overall last year, and nobody
Ben Simmons.
nobody talks about it. Nobody talks about Chet.
No, I agree.
And I watched Chet play at Gonzaga. He went crazy. I think Vic's he'll probably play good, but I just think his frame is not built for the NBA yet. Just like Chet wasn't last year. I think he's going to struggle a little bit. And then, I mean, I've never wished an injury on a player, but I feel like he's probably going to deal with something this year because of how, he needs to put on, some more muscle.
And I have heard
He's
a lot of
frail.
arguments with Victor's injury, but he hasn't really been injured.
No,
with a lot of the
I'm not
games
saying
he
he's
played.
going to get injured, but, I don't know. The NBA
It's
is
definitely a concern when you're 7'3"
it's a lot
and you're
different
dribbling.
physically than the France League.
I agree.
No,
But,
that's hot.
Yeah,
That's hot.
Chet, I'm just
That's a
saying,
hot take, bro.
Chet wins Rookie of the Year.
I think
I like it,
I
though.
think Victor's going to fit plug and play with the Spurs. He's going to be the number one option. I mean, I've seen his highlights. Like I said, we can throw him up there again. That boy is going to be banging. He's going to be shooting. He's going to be fading. His ceiling is unlimited. I think his ceiling is way higher than Chet. So I think
Is he the next
But-
Jokic?
I think he's going to be. No,
Yeah,
he has a
no
different
one-
skill
no
set,
one- no one's
different
put
skill
it
than
in
Jokic. Jokic is way different.
He's the next.
But I think he's a better KD at the end of his fucking career.
Here's what I say for Chet. Chet's in the perfect situation because you got a legitimate all-star bordering on superstar in Shea.
Yep.
Then you've got a starter bordering on all-star in Josh Giddey.
You have Jalen Williams,
So
who's a
you've
contender
got two
Rookie of the
people that
Year.
they're going to be worrying about, and then you got this 7'3" guy that, I mean, I'm not saying he's as good as Vic.
This will be my
but-
only argument to that is, yes, Chet's going to fit in that system really well, but like you said, you have Shea, you have Giddey. Those are two ball-dominant players. Victor is going to be the ball at the Spurs. He's going to be able to put up those stats for the Rookie of the Year. That's my only argument I have to that.
All right, Dale, let's hear yours.
Yeah, let's go.
I mean, it's which direction should I go? Who wins the championship? Because what do I say? I mean,
Any hot take that you think?
but just think because every team right now, I mean, there's 20 teams I could name and they might be able to win.
I think this is the most competitive NBA we'll see next year in a long time.
I mean, I wouldn't count out the Lakers to win it. I wouldn't count out the Nuggets to repeat. I wouldn't count out the Bucks. I wouldn't count out if the
The
Knicks
Celtics,
move,
I wouldn't count out the
the
Cavs.
Celtics, the Cavs. I mean,
Orlando Magic?
Boldest.
Magic could make a step too. I like the Magic. They're deep with young players.
Everybody's deep, but I mean, I guess boldest I could say is the Nuggets repeat. Really, I mean,
It's not a bad argument either.
My hot take is a little different from your guys', and I know I kind of touched on it earlier, but I think the Suns are going to be pretty trash next year.
Wow.
I think that they could be a play-in team at best.
I could see it.
And honestly, I think it comes down to who they get on this offseason. And I also, to kind of touch up on that, I think OKC. My hot take is OKC finishes with a better record than the Suns.
Easy.
I don't hate that either. I mean, like you said, OKC is deep. They're
OKC,
really deep.
4 through 6, they're getting one of those seeds.
They're very deep.
They're getting one of those seeds.
Well, this was a good first episode, y'all. We're gonna be back at it, man, next week probably. NBA and NFL. We're gonna talk about it all. So keep with us. But it was real, y'all. Peace.